Hey friends, today we'll understand why it is not healthy to have too much carbohydrate diet at night. So if you had high carbs at high carbohydrate or high carb diet at night, what happens without having protein, no healthy fat, yeah, no fiber. You just binged on high protein, high carbohydrate diet. So what happens when you have high carbohydrate diet at night for dinner? Your blood sugar, carbohydrates gets converted into glucose, as we all know. Your blood sugar in the blood rises very sharp. After that, the blood sugar also drops very steeper. The rise is very high and the fall is steeper. So when blood sugar drops too low in our body, when the blood sugar drops too low in our body, this situation is called hypoglycemia. It's called hypoglycemia. Now, brain perceives this situation as emergency. Because why brain thinks it as emergency? When blood sugar is very low, brain perceives this situation as emergency because brain's primary fuel is glucose. Our body, brain and muscles both needs glucose to function. So brain's primary source of fuel is glucose. So when the blood sugar drops too low, when you are in a situation of hypoglycemia, brain perceives this situation as emergency. So what body does? Body releases counter regulating body in this condition. Body releases 2-3 counter regulatory hormones. Adrenaline, cortisol, and glucagon. Glucagon is just exactly opposite of insulin. So when you are in a situation of very less when there is a situation of hypoglycemia, very less blood sugar in the body releases counter regulatory hormones like adrenaline, cortisol, and glucagon. Adrenaline tells liver to release stored glucose in the blood. Cortisol stabilizes blood sugar. Glucagon supports stable blood sugar. Glucagon tells your body supports release of glucose into the bloodstream. So all these hormones comes into place to release blood sugar into the blood because the blood sugar level is too low and your brain cannot function. Brain's primary fuel is glucose. So all these hormones come into place to release blood sugar into the blood. So what happened? But these two hormones, adrenaline and cortisol, are very stimulating hormones. They are very stimulating hormones. So what they do is that they make you alert. They make you anxious. They make you restless. And this hormones, adrenaline and cortisol, actually makes you very alert when the body releases these hormones to release blood sugar into the blood. As a result, what happens? These hormones are stimulating in nature. So what they make you alert, anxious, and restless, and sleeplessness. So suddenly you will see that you are waking up at 3 a.m. in the morning. You wake up, you struggle to sleep at that early hours of the morning because these hormones get released in our bloodstream, and these hormones makes us alert, anxious, restless, and sleepless. So what happened? You get up in the suddenly wake up in the morning, early hours of the morning, like 2 a.m., 3 a.m., and you fail to sleep. This situation is called like your body is struggling to maintain that proper blood sugar level. So to prevent this happen, so a lot of people may think, oh, maybe I'm not having magnesium in my diet and all that, so I'm struggling to sleep. It is not because of magnesium or deficiency of magnesium. It is because of you had high carbs in your dinner. So to fix this, you should have very less carbohydrate in your dinner. And even if you're having carbohydrate in your dinner, you should have good quality protein along with carbohydrate, good healthy fats, and a good amount of fiber in your diet. And you should try to finish your dinner as early as possible. And if you have a situation of hypoglycemia or tend to have a situation of hypoglycemia, you should avoid long fasting or skipping of meals, long fasting, intermittent fasting, because your body, when you do too much of fasting, your body body's blood sugar levels falls too steep, and as a result what happens, you fall into a situation of hypoglycemia, and your body then releases glucose into the bloodstream through adrenaline hormone, cortisol hormone, and glucagon hormone. But adrenaline and cortisol are very stimulating hormone. They makes you alert, anxious, restlessness, sleeplessness, and you fail to sleep you fail to struggle with that. You fail to sleep properly, or you struggle with that sleep. You don't get your sleep completely, and all these situations happen. So always remember, in your at dinner, always if you should keep your carb very less, carbohydrate quantity very less, and you should mix the carbohydrate with good quality protein, healthy fats, and fiber, because as I say in all my videos that protein, healthy fats, and fiber, they act as speed breakers. They slow down the digestion, and when the digestion gets slowed down, there is steady release of glucose. There is no energy spike, there is no energy crash. As a result, there is steady release of glucose. These three things slows down digestion. So you should mix protein, healthy fat, and fiber in your carbohydrate diet. I hope this is clear.